Which way is Bitcoin going to break out of this short-term consolidation pattern? Well, guys, I'll be honest with you. I am pretty sure that Bitcoin is going to have a breakout over the next 48 hours. Which direction that breakout is going to come, I have a weird feeling. I'm going to tell you what my feeling is, and I'm going to tell you what the technical analysis says, because they contradict. The technical analysis says that Bitcoin should break bullish here. I have a weird feeling in my gut that we're going to break bearish. Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, Bitcoin has had a massive breakout to the downside. 2 days ago, in a video that went up on May the 18th, I said, as you saw in the beginning of this video, that while the technical analysis was pointing to a bullish breakout of Bitcoin, I had a feeling in my gut that in the next 48 hours, we were going to see a bearish breakout. Almost exactly 48 hours after that video was recorded, here it is. Now, I did say in that video, immediately after the clip that I just showed you, that I was not making a call, and I did not call this. I'm not saying I called it, but I am telling you that we had a weird feeling this was going to happen, and in today's video, I'm going to be laying out exactly why I had that feeling, and I'm going to be laying out exactly how you can find that feeling to use in your technical analysis. We're going to be doing some analysis on the Bitcoin market today to come to a conclusion about why Bitcoin broke to the downside here, what happens next, where is Bitcoin heading, is this the end of the trend, why is this happening on the day that we're having a golden cross, Jeb? I thought golden crosses were bullish. We're going to be discussing all of that and more in today's video, so if you do enjoy today's video, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It really helps out the channel when you do that. Before we just go ahead and dive on in, I do first just want to mention the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. As you guys know, CT2A is on sale right now, and if you use the first link in the description down below, you can get access to this academy that is going to teach you everything you need to know about profiting, trading, investing in cryptocurrency markets. If you want to learn the kind of technical analysis that we're going to be doing in this video and how to predict these moves so that you can trade them for a profit, I highly encourage you checking us out at the link in the description down below. More on that at the end of the video, but I do also just first want to mention that these two videos right here, the convergence of support and resistance and the convergence of short and long-term trends, have now been updated. These are new in the course. But without much further ado, guys, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Guys, I have a policy of full open transparency with you. I want you guys to be confident in my trustworthiness and my honesty and my love and passion of teaching you guys, leading you in the right direction, and in general, just being a good steward of the power that I have been given by YouTube to influence the people that watch these videos. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you something. Someone asked me in the comment section of yesterday's video, why are you talking about CT2A so much? It seems like you're shoving it down our throat, basically, is what they said. And I'll be honest with you. Yes, I am talking about CT2A a lot this month, so let me go ahead and at the beginning of this video explain why. If you're not interested in this, just skip forward about 30 seconds. The reason that we're talking about CT2A a lot this month is because a lot of you guys are joining, and it's making a lot of money. Why is that important to you? I'll tell you why. Because I take a salary the same way that Taylor does. I make about the same amount of money that she does. Pretty much all of the money that this channel makes stays in the business account, and it gets reinvested in this business. Pretty much all of the proceeds from CT2A this month and for the next several months, they're going into renting an office, they're going into hiring a new employee, and actually, I just talked last night with a friend of mine who's probably going to be a fourth employee, myself, Taylor, and then the two new hires that we're talking about doing later on in the fall, and we're saving up so that we can do that, build out a new studio, buy new camera equipment, new microphone equipment, hire new people, have new payroll. After you have over 4 employees, then you have to have certain kinds of insurance. There's a lot of expenses that go into running a business like this, and I just wanted to make sure that I was fully open and transparent with you guys about why I'm talking about CT2A so much. I'm talking about it because you guys are loving it, and because it's going into the bank account that is going to allow this channel to grow and prosper and bring you even more high-quality content, guys. That money is not going into my personal account, it's going into the business account. It's not going into my account to buy a Corvette, it's going into the business account to buy an office and a studio so that we can bring you guys better content. So I do just want to go ahead and clarify that all the money that CT2A is making right now from you guys joining is going directly back into this business, and you're going to start seeing the effects of that over the next several months, especially after Rona is over. The pandemic we're in right now is actually pretty much the only thing we're waiting on before we go ahead and lease a new office so that we can start expanding in massive ways. But let's go ahead and get back to the technical analysis because Bitcoin is moving even more as I am saying this. Goodness gracious. Guys, as I said in the intro, I did not call this. I mentioned specifically in the day before yesterday's video that while I have a bearish feeling, I'm not making a call here, but I did have a feeling that this was going to happen. I'm going to explain why I had that feeling and how you can get that feeling also. But as you can see, in the last 2 hourly candlesticks, this one just opened. This candlestick right here, this guy, this is about 45 seconds old. It is literally exactly noon right now as I'm recording this. We have pulled back 4 1/3% over the last hour or so, and Bitcoin has broken bearish out of this consolidation pattern that we were talking about and how we thought it would break out in the next 48 hours or so. Remember to yesterday's video, I was showing you guys how you could trade this market. And I was explaining to you guys that since this is a consolidation pattern, you don't actually need to have an idea of which direction the market's going to break out. You just need to look for volume, and you need to look for a big spike in exuberance. Well, remember what I was talking about in yesterday's video and the day before yesterday's video? Look for a volume candle. There's your volume candle, guys. This is what I was talking about. I highlighted these 3 candlesticks, and I said anything really bigger than these candlesticks right here, like something like that, that is going to be confirmation of a bullish or a bearish breakout, and that is when you might consider entering a trade. But be careful with that, because the next time this happens, it's too late to trade this now if you're watching this video. But the next time we see something like this happen, just because you see a massive candlestick down here does not mean it's a good idea to go in a short position, because the bottom for this market could be right here or it could be right here. If you missed the initial breakout, like right up here, then you're going to need to wait for Bitcoin to find support on another support level and then break it again so that you can be more sure of the trade before you go into it. You want to be careful about jumping on the bandwagon when the bandwagon is already kind of done with its move and it's starting to reverse. So let's talk about the warning signs that would have predicted this movement and the warning signs that you can use to build that gut feeling and your confidence in technical analysis so that you can see these things coming. One of the things that I noticed in the last 48 hours or so were the longs starting to decrease. As you guys know, longs have been rallying pretty substantially here from the 13th of May all the way until the 18th of May. For 5 days, Bitcoin longs rallied here on Bitfinex 30%. Definitely significant. Yesterday's video, I pointed out how this candlestick was red and it was actually a bearish engulfing candlestick. I don't really think I elaborated much on it, but I did mention it. This green candlestick was smaller than the red candlestick, and these longs start going to the downside. Now, you might say that technical analysis doesn't apply to longs and shorts charts, and while I would agree with you, I do think that very, very basic and kind of hands-off technical analysis on longs and shorts charts actually work a little bit. And the fact that we were seeing a downtrend on the longs, that means people were liquidating right below the major resistance that we were talking about, adds credence to the strength of the bears, adds credence to the strength of that resistance. But guys, the thing is, longs having a little bit of a red day is not enough to predict a correction on Bitcoin. Remember, there's a golden cross coming in. The MACD was in a position to break bullish if we broke bullish, but it hadn't done it. RSI is in healthy territory. As I said in that other video, pretty much all of the technicals are bullish on Bitcoin, so what gives right now? Well, guys, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, in CT2A, there is a video right over here called Gauging the Strength of the Bulls and the Bears and Gauging the Strength of Support and Resistance. It's right over there somewhere. Yeah. In those 2 videos, we talk about how strong are the bulls, how strong are the bears, how strong is the resistance, how strong is the support. Guys, bulls attack resistance, bears attack support. Whichever faction, the bulls or the bears, are in charge of the market at the time, you need to think about how many attack points do the bulls have and how much health points does the resistance have. If you've got 100 attack on the bulls and you've got 50 health on the resistance, then our video game analogy is going to say the bulls are going to smash it. But let's say the bulls have 10 attack and then the resistance is like 5,000 health, you're never going to break through it. I'm using an analogy so that some of my gamer buddies here can understand what I'm saying. While, yes, Bitcoin was very bullish, there were 2 things holding it back. One, the bears were actually getting a little bit stronger because we were far into this trend. That's something we've been talking about here for the last several weeks. Bitcoin is far into the trend, and it is going to cause exhaustion on the bulls, especially given the global economic climate at the moment. Furthermore, while, yes, the MACD and the RSI were okay, and they were in a decent position, and we are having a golden cross, there's 2 problems with that. One, the MACD is massively above the 0 level on the histogram, more so than we've seen in a year, which is actually an overbought signal if you know how to read the MACD. And on top of that, remember guys, golden crosses on Bitcoin are actually not short-term technical indicators. Oftentimes you might see a bearish movement right after a golden cross because they are not short-term indicators. They are long-term trend indicators. And I believe that Bitcoin is moving into a longer-term bull market right now, and I very much hope that I'm right on that. But that doesn't mean that Bitcoin can't have corrections, and that's what we're seeing right now. Why are we seeing it? Because $10,000 is $10,000, and $10,000 is strong. There's several levels of resistance lining up here, guys. We talk about this in one of the new videos that we just uploaded in the course. It's called the convergence of support and resistance. The convergence of support and resistance is when you have many different technical indicators, many different levels of support or resistance come together at the exact same level, making them even stronger. An example would be this market right now. $10,000, our 3-year downtrend, and this zone of resistance are all lining up at exactly $10,000, exactly where Bitcoin's hitting its head. It's very difficult for Bitcoin to get through any one of these, but because all 3 of them are sitting on top of each other, it makes it even harder. So think about it this way, guys. Let's say you got a wall and you got a car, and you're trying to drive the car through the wall. Let's just go with this analogy. It's a weird analogy, but it'll work. You got the wall, you got the car. And to get through the wall, the car needs to be going 60 miles an hour, right? Well, if the car starts moving like 10 feet from the wall, it doesn't have room to get up to 60 miles an hour. It's going to hit the wall at like 3 miles an hour or 5 kilometers an hour for all of you people that use good measurements. I know I'm a trader. I'm sorry, Americans, but Imperial sucks. If the car starts like 10 feet away from the wall, it's not going to have time to speed up enough to hit the wall. You give the car like a mile runway to speed up, it could hit the wall at 200 miles an hour and smash straight through it. Where is this analogy going? Let me show you. We have a very strong wall up here. We have a very big level of resistance. What Bitcoin is trying to do right now is it's trying to start a movement right below the wall. This car is trying to take off like 5 feet from the wall and then somehow gain enough speed and enough momentum and enough exuberance to smash it. But it can't do that because it's so close to the wall and it doesn't have time to build up. So what do we see? We just see a bunch of little meek tests like that and that and that and that and that, and none of them are strong enough because we're hitting our head against it. Eventually, that will actually work. Let's say you hit it at 5 miles an hour 16 times. You might break it, but at the same time, it is dangerous because it's going to allow the bears time to come in and pull the market back, which I think is what my gut was trying to tell me yesterday. Oftentimes, your gut feeling, that intuition that I teach you guys about in CC2A, that intuition, that is coming from somewhere. That is trying to tell you something, and it's important to listen to. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Do you remember when Bitcoin broke $6,000 back in 2019? If you weren't in the space, you might not remember this, but if you were in the space, do you remember when Bitcoin broke this level of resistance? Everyone, including myself, was expecting, okay, Bitcoin is going to like hit its head against $6,000 for a couple of weeks, and then we're going to break it. That's not what happened. This, guys, for those of you who are not in the space, $6,000 was the level of resistance in the entire market. It was the one to beat. It was so very important. It was extremely strong. It was a very strong wall, put it that way. And Bitcoin, instead of getting resistance on it, it literally broke straight through it. It was like it was paper. It was nothing. We broke literally right through it, got support on it, and then just continued and rallied another 15%. It was already on a 75% rally without exhausted bulls, which is a point I'm about to make, and it smashed it because it had a lot of speed and had a lot of exuberance and a lot of momentum. Why did the same thing not happen to Bitcoin? Well, let's go back to our analogy. Bitcoin was running, gaining speed, but right around the time we hit this wall up here, guys, the car ran out of gas. Crap. The bulls ran out of strength. They ran out of momentum. So what do? We reject and we pull back the exact way that we should have. We come up here and we test it again and again and again and again and again, and it doesn't matter because we don't have the runway anymore. So what's the point in all this? The point in this is that it's going to be difficult for Bitcoin to just keep hitting its head on this level of resistance and just break straight through it. Eventually, you will get through it by attrition, but you need some very, very persistent bulls. And I hope that's what we have right now, but we don't know that, actually. As I tell you guys all the time, the more times you test a level of resistance, the more likely it is you are going to break it. But sometimes it's difficult to break a level of resistance if you're just hitting it with like 2 attack and it's a 1,000 hit point level of resistance. You understand what I'm saying? I hope. So here's what I propose to you may happen on Bitcoin. I think that there's a decent chance that Bitcoin pulls back to this uptrend of support and comes back and tries to test this resistance. But guys, I will warn you, the fact that Bitcoin broke bearish out of this consolidation pattern is a very bad sign, and it honestly could be a very early warning sign of a trend reversal. I'm not going to dance around my gut feelings anymore, guys, because at this point they're pretty strong and they actually do make a lot of sense normally. I'm a little bit concerned about the health of this market. The fact that Bitcoin has tested this level of resistance time and time again, hasn't gotten through it, it is not a good look for the bulls. It is not the look that you want to see in a bull market. It is not the look you want to see in a strong rally. I am getting concerned about this market, and I will tell you that now rather than in like 3 or 4 videos when the technical analysis may be vindicating me, because I want you guys to have an early warning sign, and I want to make sure you guys, as always, are looking at the bullish side and the bearish side. There's a bullish argument and there's a bearish argument, and both of them need to be considered because both of them have credibility and both of them have power to move the market in ways that you need to be aware of if you want to trade profitably in said market. So guys, that is going to wrap it out for today's video. Unfortunately, we don't have time for a life lesson, little wisdom thing, and there is a lot of stuff that I want to talk about, but we're going to have to do that in tomorrow's video. Taylor is on a time crunch, and I feel bad because this is still going to be a long video. But anyway, guys, before we go, I do just first want to mention one thing, and that is CT2A. And guys, I just want to tell you something. The reason that I'm not bashful of talking about the Academy is for one reason and one reason only. It's because this Academy has been around for 2 years. It has served over 1,500 students, not 150, not 500. 1,553 students are enrolled in the Academy at the time of recording this video, and they love it. Guys, we have built a good product here. You can go in the comment section of any of the videos in the last 7 days. You're going to find people raving about it down below. You can go to the Discord server and talk to some of our students in person. They will tell you the same thing. I literally have a folder with dozens of testimonials that I can just throw them up on screen. I'll be honest with you, it's a pain to do that in post-production, which is why I don't make Taylor do it, but I can literally do that if I wanted to. Guys, technical analysis is a very important skill, and CT2A doesn't just teach technical analysis, it teaches the surrounding analysis that you need. There are other things besides just technical analysis. It's fundamental analysis, it's intuition, it's math psychology, it's a lot more than just reading technical indicators. It's a lot more complicated than you might think, especially if you're here new to the space. It took me 2 years to learn all of this on my own, and I don't want you to have to do the same. Guys, CT2A is designed to cut down on that learning curve, and if you want to actually profit and work in these markets, it's going to take time. You can do cryptocurrency as a side hustle, you can do it after work, you can do it whenever you want, but I will tell you, it is going to take hard work, it is going to take diligence. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. That is not what I'm here to preach. I'm here to preach the truth to you, and the truth is, it is going to take some work, as does anything in life. There's a lot of people thinking that, oh, well, there's all these people selling get-rich-quick schemes online. Crypto might be one of them. Maybe if I get into crypto, I'll just make $1 million and buy a Lamborghini in the next 6 months. It doesn't work that way. The fact of the matter is, every overnight success story has 10 years of long, hard nights that no one has ever heard about. The growth of this channel over the last 3 years is the exact same way. So much that's gone into developing this channel and my understanding of cryptocurrency. It's not sexy. It's not enjoyable. Quite frankly, it can be dull and boring, but the fact of the matter is, it was worth it because hard work will pay off if you were working on the right thing. And I can tell you that cryptocurrency is the right thing. The thing that kept me in the space for 8 months, 12 months, when I wasn't making a penny from YouTube, when I wasn't making a whole lot from trading because I didn't have a whole lot of capital, the thing that kept me in the space were the stories of 17 and 18-year-olds making hundreds of thousands of dollars trading because they knew exactly what they were doing. If they can do it, I could do it. And I know you can too, because I've seen so many people that doubted themselves, all of a sudden, they're profitable and paying for stuff with their crypto proceedings. If you want to be profitable in cryptocurrency, I will be the first to tell you, I might be the only one to tell some of you guys, I believe in you. I know you can do this because I did it. Because so many other people did it when they doubted themselves. I have seen people pull themselves up by their bootstraps and be able to do amazing things in their own life, for their own family, and for the world around them. It's amazing the stories I hear from some of you, and it makes the hairs on my arms stand up. It's really mind-boggling. But guys, the incredible things that will come from investing in your education and yourself, those take hard work, they take diligence, and they take an understanding of the market that you're going to work in to get there in the first place. If you want to learn how to do technical analysis and excel in these markets, you're going to need some help learning them. I promise you guys, it is going to save you so much time. It is worth every penny. The link to join CT2A is at the top of the description. Click that link, hit enroll. When you hit that, it will take you through to make an account. After you make your account, then it'll take you to the checkout screen, and you can put in the May 2020 coupon code right over there for $40 off at checkout. Guys, we do have a full 14-day money-back refund guarantee. Yes, we do accept Bitcoin payments. If you want to do a Bitcoin payment, or if you have any questions at all for us, feel free to email us at cryptojeb@gmail.com, and we'll get back to you as quickly as we possibly can. Anyway, guys, that is going to wrap it out for today's video. Before I go, though, I do just want to seriously thank you guys for watching. We're about to hit 40,000 subscribers, which is absolutely mind-blowing. But like I said, guys, that is going to wrap it out for today's video. Before I go, though, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling.